Okay, with Seattle officially joining in 2021, the NHL is now more likely to have a lockout in 2020. Now, Seattle originally, when they put forward the bid to use Key Arena and refurb it, the ownership group, which includes Jerry Bruckheimer, were very keen to get in the 2020 season. Obviously, we've seen the success with Vegas, and obviously Seattle have paid 650 million US dollars in expansion fees. So the NHL as a league has made a lot of money out of these two teams. They've made over $1 billion in just two down payments for expansion fees. The issue is there are issues within the NHLPA and between the NHLPA, sorry, and the league. Um, and they include several things like a participation at the Olympics, the World Cup of Hockey, player contracts. The Nylander contract with the big signing on bonus, the Tavares contract. These signing on bonuses are going to be a hot topic because some teams can't afford to pay them. So if you look at the smaller market teams or those teams with lesser budgets, they cannot afford to pay these signing on bonuses that a Toronto or a Rangers or a Blackhawks can. So there's player contracts are going to be up for debate. There's a whole host of things up for debate. Obviously, Arizona are going to be relocated from the Pacific to the Central Division. There are those saying they should be moved from Arizona to Houston, but many things are on the table. The big sticking points are the fact the collective bargaining agreement. There seems to be no movement from either the league or the NHLPA to vote to extend that another year or so. There seems to be a real lack of movement on that. We know the expansion rules are going to be exactly the same. So Vegas won't get any expansion money, but they are protected from losing players in the expansion draft in 2021. But what does this mean for hockey fans? We know there's a whole host of issues. It's more than just the Olympics, and it's more than just the World Cup of Hockey, and it's more than just contracts and length of term or these bonuses, and there's a whole other host of issues. Every time the collective bargaining agreement ends, there is some form of labour stoppage, strike, lockout, and we've lost pretty much 2 entire seasons in 3 lockouts and a player strike. So the NHL and the NHLPA don't have a good working relationship. They really don't. There are issues about the CTE concussion lawsuit as well. That's not going away. We've heard today that Derek Boogaard's parents have had their case thrown out, and they were actually suing the NHLPA over the fact that their son was failed multiple drugs tests and was still allowed to train and compete, and he wasn't looked after before he died. So Derek Boogaard, that issue with player welfare is coming up as well. There are a whole host of issues. There is issues with some teams like Ottawa and Calgary having arena issues. Where are they gonna stay with the arenas they're at? Are they going to move? Are they going to build a new one? Ottawa have had issues with their arena. Calgary having issues with their arena. These are well publicised. They are Canadian franchises. The Canadian dollar isn't doing so well. So there's a whole host of issues. With Seattle now joining a year later than planned, this makes the likelihood of a lockout that much stronger. When they announced Seattle was applying for a bid, they planned to come in 2020 before they were officially ratified today. This seemed good news because Vegas was so successful, and when Vegas were about to come in, there were hopes that the CBA would be extended or modified, and there'd be no lockout, and that both sides would work together really, really well. And the last couple of weeks, the Nylander contract, I think, is a big one with that signing on bonus. But the fact that they've voted unanimously for 2021, not 2020, is a big sign that there is some kind of labour unrest. And in their statement, now that I've had time to read it, they do mention there are issues with labour unrest between the NHLPA and the league itself. And for some reason, I mean, Gary Bettman, love him or hate him, yes, the league has expanded. I think, yes, the league is much better off financially and as a product than what it was when he took over in the early 90s. But under his tenure, there has been three lockouts, including one season completely lost and 2 shortened seasons. And the year before he came in, there was a player strike. So his entire tenure as commissioner, there has been basically once a decade, there is player unrest and they refuse to play, or they're not happy with the collective bargaining agreement, or the league is not happy. The NHLPA, they're under the spotlight at the moment for certain things, and the league's under the spotlight for certain things. So hopefully, in the next 2 years, negotiations take place and they don't leave it till the last minute, there's a big risk that these new fans with Vegas and the potential new fans of Seattle will be put off by any labour unrest between the players and the league, and that's a big risk as well, because this is a lot of money the NHL has just made off expansion fees, and they are risking their investment in allowing these two new teams to come in Vegas and Seattle. They risk undermining the fans they've just built up. The success that Vegas had last year, all this could be undermined by a lockout. But there we go. That's my view on it. It seems more likely, although they have 2 years to sort this out. But as we've seen in the past with the NHLPA and the NHL, they always leave things to the last minute, and it leads to strikes and lockouts. So there we go. But there we go. That's my thoughts on a potential lockout. And we'll see what happens. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your thoughts below, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.